little bit of breathing space. Ada, who has made up the most ground, 44 seconds behind. But remember, Ada started 19th, 104 off the leaders. And it's the positions that are important for him. He's up to 4th, ahead of his teammate Suman. Schlesinger of the Czech Republic on much better form is in 6th. Grice Mike, another miss in the pro, and that's cost him a few positions. But he's not out of this one quite yet.
Well, he's 50 seconds behind and 9th place. It's still possible to make a comeback from that, but he has to hit 10 out of 10.
Any critique on Sikora's technique?
He's so strong. Everything is locked. The knees, the legs, the energy is going in the right place. Very upright technique.
He's made an effort to plant the skis a little flatter than normal, but he's still slightly on the edge because he doesn't bring the skis right in until the feet are close together.
And so, yeah, I mean, that has put him as a much more efficient skier this year. And the change of skis as well, the change of branding for Sikora has helped.
Keep an eye open for Legelic of Canada, who's gone from 21st up into 11th. That's a very good run for Jean-Philippe, and he's looking to improve on his PB of 8th.
I'm trying to find where Hannevold, he was up with the best, but can't find his position now. He missed 2 in his second prone. In fact, Hannevold is still well in the race in 8th position.
Well, of the 2 leaders, you may be surprised to hear that Bjorn Ferry has a better standing record than Emil Hegler Svensson, 87 to 80%. And that is significant at this sort of level and in this sort of head-to-head racing. It's not the pressure that phases Svensson, it's sometimes that he just comes in too fast.
Well, the way he's jumped up that final climb, well, there's another little climb before the flat, before the range, but he's pushing the pace now, Svensson.
He's slightly surprised that shooting clear, he was only 4 seconds ahead of Bjorn Ferry yesterday.
I was a little. Svensson, he paced it sensibly, and you have to be careful. I don't think he was willing to open up, give everything in the 10 kilometre yesterday, Svensson, but he will have to do that today.
Sikora has lost 17 seconds to Svensson, who leads once again, as he did at the start of the race. And Sikora needs to win today and hope that Svensson is outside the top 25 if he is going to move into the World Cup leaders position. That's an unlikely scenario. But at 35, he is having a fantastic season. He's changed his skis, he's changed his technique, and he now trains alone, which may be the most significant factor. Svensson and Ferry side by side. First shoot in the standing position. Himmler looking a little nervous, understandably.
Svensson having to readjust after the first shot, but Ferry's missed the first shot.
Svensson limits the damage, but so does Bjorn Ferry. Those two have a 150-metre penalty to pay. Sikora, who was 26 seconds behind, needs to go clear, and he will be right on the tails of the 2 leaders. Well, there's good recovery from Thomas Sikora. Now, keep your fingers crossed for Simon Ada. 3 out of 5 missed in the stand yesterday. He's done wonderful work so far today.
He always shoots so fast.
It was the last ones that were difficult. Oh, 5 out of 5. Great shooting from Ada. And he's gone from 19th. He's up into 4th. But more significantly, he has closed the gap down on the leaders. He might even overtake Thomas Sikora. It's going to be very close. And in fact, there's a gap of around 20 metres. Ada is into 3rd.
Brilliant performance. He's hit 15 out of 15. One of only 2 athletes to do that so far. Sikora must be disappointed. Grice missed his last shot. I thought he might go clear.
Nice to see Michael Rusch going clear for Germany. Eberhard has also gone 5 out of 5 for Austria. Landertinger with a miss. Zhang of China skiing a bit too fast on that last loop, and he is paying the price now. The first 2 in the stand miss, but he gets number 3 down.
Well, the race is not over yet by a long way. Cherysov and Chudov, they've really moved up. They're now 6th and 7th, only 33 seconds behind.
Yeah, 39 seconds separating the top 10 positions. And we always say that if you've got a minute, if you're only a minute behind after the third shoot, you still have a chance of winning, because you never quite know what is going to happen to the leaders. 4 out of 5 for Svensson, 4 out of 5 for Ferry of Sweden, and 4 out of 5 for Thomas Sikora as well. Well, there you see the top 10 positions. Bjorn Ferry has the lead once again. Do you expect Svensson to go ahead?
I think Svensson will, just as we make our way around this track.
Svensson waited for the big climb up to the split point to make his move on the last lap. He may do the same again. He may decide that he's got to make a break and earn himself 100 meters or so. He looks to be well within himself at the moment, trailing Bjorn Ferry.
And look at the chase group. It's only 16 seconds back to Eder.
Now Eder, Mike, has really improved his ski speed. The Austrians have a slightly strange system in that they have 2 coaches coaching different parts of the team.
Well, that's right. Alfred Eder's working with, well, his son, here he is, Simon, and the other younger members of the team. And Gosweiner is working with the older, established members of the Austrian team. And I think the 2 groups are tending to push each other. It's competitive, but it's positive in its competition. Not a bad idea, and certainly Austria having their best season ever in the history of biathlon. Don't forget, in the relays they've won 2, they've been 2nd in one and 3rd in the other. They're not off the podium yet in the relays, and they're now favourites to take a medal of some colour in the World Championships in Korea. But I think if they get a win here today with Simon Eder, they'd be even more delighted. 19.8 behind for Eder. Cherysov and Chudov, as you say, Mike, making up ground, working together. Now, the last 2 World Championships, Chudov has finished in 2nd place. He loves the pursuit race. He is tenacious. He just attacks. He holds on to the fastest of ski speeds. Well,
there's no doubt that the pace is picking up at the front. Svensson and Ferry starting to push it out. 1 more lap to go after this, and they'll be starting to use up the reserves, but they can pay such a heavy price because they don't have a big enough margin to be able to afford mistakes. Eder is 16 seconds behind. Sikora pretty much the same. We'll get another split time in around 20 seconds time. Sikora moving back up into 3rd again. Eder's starting to lose that fluent technique that we saw yesterday, so I suspect that he's fatiguing. Chudov is smooth as ever. One of the smaller figures on the tour, but it certainly doesn't affect his performance. And Mickey Grice coming back again, Mike.
Yeah, Grice, you saw the aggression in Grice yesterday. He's so desperate to win again, but he's 39 seconds off the pace.
Michael Roche wearing 28. He's made up a lot of ground today.
Fast shooting, he's only missed 1 target so far out of 15.
Well, he'll gain another 5 seconds with the final shoot, and so Rush could certainly move into the top 10. I think a top 5 is even possible if the pressure gets to those at the front.
Only 3 athletes with a perfect score so far. It's Eder, he's in 4th, then further down Sednev moved up from 26th to 9th, and Legelic, the Canadian, from 21st to 11th.
Svensson's been the star of the season, Mike, but he must be a little frustrated that whenever he wins, Thomas Sikora also gets himself on the podium. So surprisingly, he's only 35 points clear in the World Cup standings, and you would have thought with 4 wins already, he would have had a bigger margin.
And I wonder what's going through Svensson's mind now. Could this be his 5th win? He won't actually be going through that thought. I think we'll see him calming down a little more into the range and probably building his position and taking another 3 or 4 seconds to get settled.
Prior to yesterday, you would have said that Ferry has to gain himself 15 seconds to hold off Svensson on the last lap, but Ferry's last lap yesterday was astonishing.
It was, but you know, then you've got a bit of payback. I wonder how that has affected Ferry today. It doesn't seem to have affected him yet.
How close have Eder and Sikora got to be to Svensson to have a chance?
outski him or in-ski him, they would need to be no more than 6 seconds behind. You just sense that Svensson is holding something back for the last lap.
Shudov and Cherysov still at 25 and 26 seconds. They've started to ease down as they approach the final crucial shoot here in Antholz. Mickey Grice down in 8th position, having started in 7th. Mickey Grice already 175 points behind in the World Cup standings. I think maybe he'll have to forget ideas about winning the overall this year and focus on taking gold medals at the World Championships. Huge. The Norwegian coach
he looks as nervous as the athletes, but huge pressure now on both of these athletes.
So Svensson and Ferry in the same lanes as they were for the last shoot. They both missed one apiece. Svensson it was who struck first. Svensson for the first time showing signs of nerves. Advantage Sweden at the moment. 5 out of 5 for Bjorn Ferry. He's gone clear and he could be heading to defend the title here in Antholz. Ada and Sikora have got to go clear. Ada's done it and he may well get himself on the podium.
Ooh, outstanding 0-0. 0-0 for Ada from 19th to 3rd. It's brilliant.
Well, that's worth going to the press conference to see whether they do reverse the decision and take him to the World Championship. Surely now they've got to consider him.
They have to, surely. Grice, beautiful performance there. Shudov came in so fast, but missed 3 targets.
Well, Grice to hit 5, having worked so hard on that last lap, is a very, very commendable performance. Sednev has gone clear for the Ukraine. We haven't mentioned him yet. And Legelik, Mike, might just beat his best of 8th. We'll keep an eye on that. That would equal, in fact, that would better anything the Canadians have done in the last 15 years. Sednev in 6th, Legelik in 7. He's got some skiing to do, but if he can take 5 seconds out of Sednev, 6th position is possible. But 6 seconds behind him, as you can see, is Ivan Cherysov, who is no slouch when it comes to the final lap.
I'm just wondering if Simon Eder can take 9 seconds off Bjorn Ferry on the last 2.5.
He may just do that. Eder was flying yesterday, but then again, so was Bjorn Ferry on the last lap. And both of those two have put in a very quick penultimate lap, so I'm not sure either of them are going to have too much left in reserve. Well, just in front of our commentary box is Vincent Defrance, still on the firing point for his 3rd shoot, and it's on his 4th shoot. I thought for a minute he was being lapped, but no, that's not the case. But he is going to be at least 2 minutes behind the leaders. Here is the race leader. He starts the last lap with an advantage of 9 seconds. He started the last lap yesterday 8.5 seconds off the leading time, and he got to within 3 seconds. So he needs a similar performance here.
He does, and Simon Eder, he's put so much. Remember, he started 1 minute 4 seconds behind the lead time. He's pulled all of that time back.
Great race between Mickey Grice and Svensson. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. Just looking at Mike's predicted order of finish. Grice in 1st, Ferry 2nd, Svensson 3rd. Not bad. Simon Eder has put a spanner in the works.
He's amazing.